high enough bandwidth. Those boxes take a video input from any type of camera, encodes the video, and sends that over via this bonded IP connections back to the other side to a decoder system. This decoder system will take all those IP lines together and decodes the video back again into an SDI, back in your broadcast environment, for example. So, this bonding makes it possible to get a lot of bandwidth. That's the main concept. But there's also some other things behind it, this bonding. Bonding is also reliability. How can you explain this better? When you are driving on a highway, you're driving very fast, especially with these days with LTE and 4G introduced on a cellular level. You can drive very fast. So when you send data, you can do HD video perhaps via one connection. But suddenly there can happen something on your highway. That's that you get a small problem on the highway. It gets smaller, so everybody has to brake. In practice, what happens that you bump as the last one you bump into the other cars and you have a crash. Now the same thing happens on mobile networks. That packets get lost when there are changes in the bandwidth on mobile level. So bonding, what does that do? It helps to create a second channel which can be used to take over when there's a problem on one of the connections. So bonding brings more reliability. But what's the spin-off of all this technology? Now, with having such a backpack, you can walk around and you don't need per se an SNG vehicle to send over a live feed from anywhere you want to go. This makes it now possible to send somebody on the ice.
De LCD-koorts doen nog regelmatig wat harder sneller roepen. Zo ook dat van oudschaatser Ben van den Burg. Die de hele route vandaag op een bijzondere manier uiteraard.
Yeah, this guy is skating in the fields of the Netherlands. There's a 200-kilometer ice skating race. But with the help of the backpack, we were able to follow that live on television without having to need a microwave link, any type of traditional wireless system of video link. With the GoPro, and this on his back and was doing a very nice broadcast the whole day, even until late at night. Another possibility is that you now able to follow, for example, your fans or your team that's winning in a specific match. Just take a motorcycle with a camera, take this on your back and follow it. Drive with the team home. Though it looks a little bit the same view the whole time, but it's very interesting for people to watch, like Big Brother was in the past. You get a lot of people attracted to your channel. So, now specific to the format Peter will go to present. Peter? Streets of Amsterdam.
Yes. Yes, every day we walk on the streets and let's take the next slide. My octopus of multiple hearts. No, that's not it. Interesting as well, my buttocks seems to be unhappy. No, yes, the streets of Amsterdam. How to make more than a half hour of live television 5 times a week. Well, we use our streets every day, we played on them, but what is really happening between these facades, which we see every day when we go to work, who's living there and what do they do and what about the history and the architecture. So that's why we have this format, the Streets of Amsterdam, it's broadcasted live 5 times a week for more than a half hour, thanks to this strange kind of device or Ghostbuster kind of thing. We're able to make a whole new kind of television. Well, before I will bore you with some further information about the format, I think the best way we can illustrate this is by a little movie, sort of making of, so you will get an idea of how it's made and the concept. Yes.
We gaan vandaag de straat doen, gezellig bij Sparrentorenstraat. Hier zijn de spullen. Dit is de bekende rugzak. Dat is stagiaire straks dragen voor ons.
beste pizzabakker van Nederland. Zijn 26e geworden op het Pizza World Championship 2012. Dus dat is niet mis, lijkt mij. Verder gaan we langs bij Freud, waar mensen met psychiatrische klachten aan het werk kunnen om zo weer plekken te veroveren in de arbeidsmarkt. Daarnaast gaan we nog langs bij een bewoner uiteraard. Moordenhuis kunnen we wel vertellen. Meneer Hiemstra woont al 40 jaar in de Spaardammerbuurt. Hij heeft van alles vertellen, boordevol verhalen. En allemaal in de Spaardammerstraat als decor. Amsterdam West wel op straat. Dus laten we maar beginnen om verder gekend te houden. De Spaardammerstraat.
Well, this is what we so-called honest TV, which means no tricks, no After Effects, no editing. And because it's really live, you get a whole new experience of watching TV, especially in a time where we get overwhelmed by smooth TV shows like the X Factor and other not really know if it's true documentaries like MTV. People really get a need for this kind of honest TV. Well, sometimes things might go wrong, but that's live television and that's live as well. So it's this honest thing. It's a real feeling, just like in real life. And to illustrate that, I will read an email what we received, which really explains the feeling what we're trying to reach. It's well, the streets of Amsterdam is very important for me, especially because I can't go out of my house easily because I'm unable to walk anymore. But thanks to your program, I can still see my city the way I used to. I hope that you will keep making this program. Because it's live, people experience the program a whole different way. We've tested other backpack and live devices, and this really had the best singers, from tiny houses to big churches to busy streets. Everywhere we get well connected. And because this thing, yeah, I find it a strange little thing, but it works incredibly. It's rather small, we can go anywhere we want to go. Well, now you have an idea. The only ingredients what you need is for making a program is a TV host, a cameraman, an intern to do some research and carry it back, or maybe 2 interns, and a technician who will control stuff from your control room. And of course this backpack. So that conclusion, it's really easy to make. You have to be on time 5 minutes before you really want to broadcast. And it's cheap as well. I calculated our program costs $500 a day for more than half an hour. So you can imagine it's one of the cheapest way to make television, and it scores a lot. Well, thumbs up for that. Since we're ready to, we now know how to make this half hour of television. Well, how you feel this half hour? Well, to illustrate that, I fast forwarded normal broadcast in the so-called Rustenburgerstraat in Amsterdam West. You may try to pronounce it, Rustenburgerstraat. And I will tell you what we do in a normal television. Yeah, well, this is a viewer who emailed us. You really want to carry the backpack for once to experience the program in real life, and then we can mention a bit of chit chat about this and that. This is a first appointment. It's a man who restaurates old furniture, and he tells us about his story. He was a former security guard, now wanted to do something completely different. He tells us about his worst enemy, the woodworm. Very interesting if you ask me. This is a real who puts palm leaves into old chairs to sit more comfortably. Well, this is our next appointment. This is Matthew Blaas. He's a former prostitute who now photographs people who found themselves too ugly to be put in a photo, and she tells about her former work as a prostitute, and that she still is worried about some of her former colleagues in this scene. And she tells us a little bit about her house and she shows. It's very interesting if you want to know it. Chit chat, and we walk in the street. We talk about the history of the street, the architecture, and if it has changed a lot, and some human interest, if you ask me. This is a local cafe where her photographs will be revealed for the first time for the people who found themselves too ugly to get one photo. Interesting. These are some girls who are practicing for school performance, and they spontaneously start to dance. That is really an example of this spontaneous live television. And this is our last appointment. It's wonderful. Now I see it. She tells about her pursuit of happiness, and should she do something what is really fun, or should she do something what is less fun but has a more certain future with money and stuff. And she shows her house, and we get her to the end of the program. So you now know a bit what the program is like, and the conclusion it's very easy to make as well. Yeah, well, what surprises me as well is this format, how easy it seems to seem. It's a great success. We've been on major TV shows, we've been on covers of magazines, the papers tells us about it, and last but not least, we got tremendous viewing ratings. You see on the last thing. It's very popular. It's the most popular show in the last 20 years. Yeah. The fun thing about this format is that the variation is endless. We calculated that we can go on for more than 20 years if we broadcast one street every day in Amsterdam. And the fun is when you go to different neighborhoods, you will get completely different shows. Imagine a show in the Bronx and a show in East Manhattan. Well, let's take a look.